Good evening. I'd like to call tonight's meeting of the Riverhead Industrial Agency, Development Agency to order. It's now, I'll say, 5:05 p.m. The first item on our agenda for today is the consideration of today's agenda. Does everybody have a chance to review it?
Yes.
If so, are we in favor to proceed?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
So we'll accept the agenda for tonight. And our first item of business would be a presentation from 48 Cromer LLC.
We have Chris Kempner as consultant to 48 Cromer LLC and Ray Dickoff as member, construction manager, operator of the proposal. Ray had come to us actually, 5 years ago? Approximately 5 years ago.
Already?
Yeah, and did a presentation, a brief presentation on the project. It's morphed a little bit, but now they've received most of their approvals, and they're ready to move forward with the agency financial assistance request.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much for allowing us to present this evening. We're here to respectfully request that the Riverhead IDA accepts our application for 48 Cromer LLC's incentives to relocate to Riverhead. 48 Cromer LLC is wholly owned by Frank Fisher and is a new entity that was formed for the purpose of acquiring and redeveloping the property site located at 48 Cromer Avenue in Riverhead, New York. It's Suffolk County Tax Map 600-119-1-32.1. The purpose of the purchase was to relocate several other businesses that are 100% owned by Frank Fisher. So the current property houses a dilapidated, it was a metal machining shop, and the previous owner retired and sold the property. So that building has been demoed, and we're repurposing, reusing all the concrete on site, and the wood will be repurposed to use in the new facility. The proposed facilities to be developed is one 38,472 square foot industrial building, which will be 2 stories with a basement. It'll include a general office, small business, entrepreneurial space, which is about 13,000 square feet, which will include 15 offices, 12 workstations, and shared meeting and logistical support for businesses that would like to locate there. So 48 Cromer, as I mentioned, is wholly owned by Frank Fisher. He has several other properties that he intends to relocate to the new facility. So of the 13,000 square foot office space, the LLCs will occupy about 4,135 square feet of that space. And it will be 631 propane, which will also occupy 1/2 of the outdoor yard space, about 1.5 acres. The total acreage of the site is 4.045, and we've donated 1 acre to the DEC for environmental restoration. So also located in the office space will be Go Green Sanitation, the Fish, which is a sanitation service for residential and commercial waste customers on the East End. Doesn't handle Riverhead because of we have the municipal services here. And then thirdly, Fisher Organization, which is a rental property ownership and management company, which has about 70 rental units in Flanders, will be located there. And then 48 Cromer LLC, which is a real estate development company. So the concept is to have a facility that would allow, in the remaining space that we'll be renting, for new businesses to locate and have business support with all office business needs without having to individually acquire those types of services. So on site there'll be an attorney, an accountant, marketing and branding, printing, and a call center. So if a company wants to relocate here to expand, or they want to start their new, they'll have all these facilities available to them. Also on the property, in the building, will be 9 commercial rental industrial bays, so 13,000 square foot total. One will be used by 631 Propane, and then the others will be available to small contractors that maybe want to use the office facility and the industrial bays. Right now, 48 Cromer is thinking of targeting plumbing, which is a good business out here. And then the basement will have additional parking and mini storage for tenants and use of the property. So we do have one board. I know that Tracy had asked to sort of visually show, and it's in your printout as well, that shows the usage of 48 Cromer for the 4,135 square foot. And then the rest of the tenant space that's available, and then the common areas, which have an employee lounge, conference. It's going to have file cabinet storage, really a very neat facility. Right now, the committed tenants are owned by Frank Fisher because he's developing the property, but we anticipate as we get closer to completion that there should be a great deal of interest in the space because there's really nothing like this around. So as I mentioned, the site is unoccupied and was previously operated as a metal machining shop. We're requesting incentives to incentivize the investment, which is approximately $15,704,000, which would be prohibitive to the applicant moving forward without RETA assistance. The Riverhead site is much better suited for these businesses to grow, and we're really looking forward to the opportunity. The economic benefits of the project, we anticipate with the direct construction cost investment of about $9.75 million, which breaks down to about $6.9 million in new construction and $2.8 million in site work. We anticipate approximately 150 construction jobs over the next 12 to 18 months. For direct jobs, we anticipate that Frank Fisher's companies will employ approximately 54 full-time jobs within 5 years of construction. We have a table that we've provided to sort of break down what we anticipate those to be. All the companies are growing, and by consolidating to one site, we really expect to be able to hire quite a bit more. And then indirect jobs, which will be created by the tenants, should be pretty vibrant. So we've anticipated approximately 39 secondary jobs, and with 15 offices at a minimum of 1 employee per space, we expect about 15 of the secondary jobs. In the industrial bays, there are 8 commercial rentals. We figure about 3 employees per industrial bay, and that would be about 24 secondary jobs. We feel that there are multiple community benefits of the project, and there won't be any impact on the school district because it's strictly industrial commercial. We think local energy security is important in these times. There was a hack to the pipeline last year where the gas supply really became an issue, and it was difficult to get gas delivered because they had to restrict it. So by encouraging a local facility that's locally owned, we sort of secure propane in the area. We anticipate that the project and its tenants will drive additional investment into the Riverhead business community, especially because the setup of the facility with the attorney and tax accountant, a call center, and marketing branding being on site, we could really help companies launch, and hopefully they can come, stay for a while, and then grow into their own facility as they grow. Another benefit was the environmental restoration of 1 acre of the property that was donated to the DEC. We donated 3 rail cars to the Riverhead Railroad Museum. And we just feel the project in general supports entrepreneurial small business and lowers the barrier to market entry for these companies. So I guess in summary, unless you have other questions, the availability of high-quality, full-service entrepreneurial space with full business logistical support is virtually non-existent in Riverhead or even the area. So we believe that not only will it help the companies owned by Frank Fisher grow, but it'll enhance capacity of our local small businesses to locate in Riverhead and grow, and hopefully move on after they've established. We're proposing this model of fractional sharing of in-house professional staff, which is almost like an incubator, but it'll be a private model.
Contracting space?
What's that?
Incubator for contracting space.
True, and other businesses that want the office space, because it'll be Class A and a brand-new built facility, as you can see from the renderings. We feel it's responsive to the needs of small businesses, and it's also located in a low-income area, a designated LMI. So with that, I don't know if you had any more specifics, or if you wanted to see any of the renderings.
Questions, Lauren?
No, I don't have any questions at this point. I think it's a really unique project. I think it's exciting. I'm looking forward to learning more.
I think anybody who spent 5 years
It's probably
working
longer.
to get to this point shows certainly a dedication of purpose that is admirable.
Thank you.
The gas facility itself, does that simply accommodate your current customer requirements, or has that got an expansion element to it in effect?
No, that's so we can expand.
And explain how it's handled now versus what you wanted it, that would be great.
Currently, we have about 4,500 customers. We have 3 trucks, and we rely on buying our gas from another company over in West Hampton. So when we had that shortage in gas, they cut us down from, which they had to. They were giving us 1 load a day, so typically our trucks would do 3 loads in a day. So it was a major hit. We pay substantially more for the gas, and honestly, we're parked because zoning doesn't allow our trucks to park where we are in our current office space. So we're parked in their facility, inside their fence, and that could end in a day. So the only way we could expand is to get our own plant, and then we can go into different areas. We can target different types of businesses that we haven't been targeting, because we don't want to get a customer and then lose that customer because we can't service them. So we want to be in place to have our facility, then we can target, we don't do barbecue tanks, that's not our business plan. We only do, our main thing is burying 1,000-gallon tanks and then getting that customer and dropping 1,000 gallons at a time. We don't do barbecues, we don't do the 100-pound tanks at all. We do some of what they call a 420, the round tanks you might be familiar with, but we do that for our builders because they use that for temporary heat during the construction process. So we do that as a service, but we don't sell to the general public. But that's we are talking about. We've started conversations with reactivating that rail spur, which is going to provide us with a secure pipeline of gas coming in. One rail car is 4 tractor-trailer loads, so it's going to take, if we can get 4 rail cars in there, we're taking 16 trucks off the road coming down the expressway. It would be very good for the town. And we have started negotiating talks with the rail company now. There is an existing spur on the property that has to be totally rebuilt, but it is there. So that's where we are.
And where are you located now?
Right now, our office is 500 Rivoli Avenue. Yeah, right over here on Rivoli Avenue, so.
All right. Any further questions? Thank you very much for the presentation. Let's see. With that, then, do we want to bring the new business up now?
You
then?
can.
Can we do that?
Sure.
So I'd like to just move number 9 up now to the consideration to accept the application for 48 Cromer LLC. I know we have a resolution for that, right?
Yes, sir,
Okay. I think that's in our file.
it is.
Have you had a chance to look at this resolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or thoughts about the resolution itself?
This is just calling the public hearing so that we could hear.
Exactly.
Correct, the resolution
community.
is to accept the application.
Right.
And call a public hearing.
Right.
So then I ask for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is granted to proceed with a public hearing.
Perfect.
Okay. And with that, thanks very much.
It'll likely be the next board meeting,
Um,
July 11th, I think. It's a holiday.
That takes us to a consideration of the minutes from our meeting of May 9th.
I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
All in favor then?
Aye.
All right, minutes from the meeting of May 9th have been accepted. Correspondence, Tracy, you said we have some correspondence?
Yes, I forwarded correspondence from two new prospective projects. Not so new to me, but they wanted to make it official because they anticipate quite a lengthy review process from the town. And one is from Westwood Companies, and the other is from the attorney of NP Riverhead Industrial.
Pods, yeah, okay. So this is just putting
And
us,
it's-
sort of, making us aware that they intend to ask for an put in an
Yeah,
application.
yeah, we've met with
Okay.
them, but it's not time to submit the app quite yet because they've got, hopefully not 5 years.
Exactly. I don't think there's any comments at the moment. We'll have a chance to look at the letters and we can talk about that, I suppose. That brings us to the treasurer's report, and I turn to you, Lee.
So at the, for the month ending May 31st, the balance in the checking account was $8,932.96. The balance in the money market account as of May 31st was $70,021.50. There was interest earned of $3.07, and $25,000 was transferred to the operating account on June 2nd. Revenues for the month of May included interest earnings of $11.85 and refinance fees in the amount of $2,500, and expenses for the month of May totaled $15,989.60. All pilots due were collected and dispersed on June 2nd.
And then they would like a motion then approving the resolution to accept the expenses and authorize payment of bills.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. It looks like there's no committee reports this week,
That's correct?
and there is no old business this week.
That is correct.
And there is no executive director's report this week.
No, that is correct. I did want to just mention that regarding the letter for the legislation that was being proposed in committee, it didn't make it out of committee, so we don't need to
All right.
discuss it. And I'll have updates for you on the latest legislation that was adopted
All
and is
right.
on Governor Hochul's desk.
Okay, good.
And with that, on this lovely June evening, I am going to ask for a
Oh, I'm
motion.
sorry.
We did actually have old business.
We did have old business, sorry.
Oh, you do?
I completely
Oh, okay.
forgot.
The tenants.
That was his cue.
Oh,
Yeah.
The tenants.
Correct.
pray tell, the old business.
So if you recall, at the last meeting, we had a presentation from 4 tenants at the
Yes.
Georgica Greens, and we'd requested some additional corporate information from the tenants. We received that. So if the board would like to consider approving those tenants, we're ready to do that.
Is this three, was it 3 separate motions? Or is it
Four.
resolutions?
You
Can
So
we
the
do
first
this
one-
group?
The first one, in no particular order, would be Casa.
Could we give them copies of the
Oh, yeah,
resolution?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah,
I think,
no,
I
no,
think,
you can keep one.
yeah, it's
There's
almost,
plenty of
almost
copies.
rather than the names, but I mean,
Okay, I didn't realize
just
the
a quick
Yeah, I make
description of the
copies.
business.
Yeah, so the first one was Casa Dorado Deli Taqueria.
Yeah.
The second one was Long Island Selfie Corp. Third one is American Muscle doing business as Empower. And the fourth one was Pelleteria Mexicandi
Ice cream, right?
Ice Cream.
I've got all the Casa Dorados.
Yep, you can just take one and I'll take the remainder, I
Okay.
need copies.
And I'll take one American Muscle,
Okay.
pass them on. And then take a Ventures LLC.
You should all have 4 at the end of the day.
Yep.
Yeah. And what's the name of this guy?
I was doing it last minute, so I probably didn't put them in the title.
So-
It's probably down the bottom in the last paragraph.
Selfie Studio. Okay, there's Selfie Studio.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Muscle Studio was first one.
Pelleteria Mexicandi, American Muscle Studio, and Dorado Deli, Casa Dorado Deli. Okay.
And so just to confirm, our role is just to approve tenants for a project that came through the IDA for whom we
right.
provided benefits. These are not additional benefits. These are, it's,
That's
they,
right, it's
right, so the
ministerial.
tenant benefits from the whole project. These are
Correct.
not additional benefits that they're
No
receiving.
new sales tax, no new piles.
Right.
But again, this is so you have a chance to make sure that there's nobody going into a project you've approved, that you haven't approved all the subtenants.
Right.
So that if you had somebody coming in here doing something that was not permitted by the IDA Act, you could say, no, you can't do that.
Right.
Well, I really have no comments from the last meeting. I asked my questions then regarding before. So, as you highlighted, Lori, they're new businesses. One's an existing business, the American Muscle business, I think
Right.
is, and I think the other ones are
They're all new,
they're
yeah.
all- are new. But they're interesting, and they're all young people eager to start their own businesses, and kind of exciting. And
They
I
were
guess-
excited.
I guess the organization has probably vetted them as tenants, so,
And it's 4 vacant spaces
Yes.
being filled up.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Sounds good. So, may I have a motion?
I'll make the motion
With
to
all four.
approve. All 4?
Okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you can close this up.
And now for the adjournment, yes. So
I'll
I
make-
would like a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion, the meeting is hereby adjourned at 5:27 PM.
Thank you.